What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Nerd Media, and Cinemacon has officially concluded last night with their final panel being for Disney, which is arguably the most anticipated panel of the whole entire week because that means Star Wars announcements, Pixar stuff, Marvel stuff, and we got mostly all of that, and I think we got some pretty awesome and fun descriptions of footage, announcements, all of that from Marvel, Pixar, and more. So we're going to be diving into all of the highlights of this panel last night, talking about some of the big things that I'm most excited for and some of the big shockers and some really big descriptions of trailers from Marvel and big reveals. So we're going to be diving into all that and more in this video. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought of Cinemacon this week. You guys already know what my highlight was of the week, and it did not take any time for me to just absolutely love this week because of the Spider-Man announcements. I mean, those are my two most anticipated movies for the next few years, so very exciting stuff. But with all that being said, let's dive into the Disney panel. So first things first, we got some details on Tron Ares, which is coming out, I believe, in October of this year. I am not somebody who has seen the Tron Legacy film. I'm going to be watching it hopefully soon, and I'm going to be watching it before October, obviously, so I can review this for you guys and talk about it. And I'm very excited for it. They played some laser light show for everybody before talking about the film. Jared Leto and everybody came out. They talked about it. They showed some footage. A lot of people are really complimenting the film, saying that it looks really awesome. And as of this recording right now, they released a little snippet saying that there's going to be an official trailer for that film dropping tomorrow, April 5th. So that is very exciting, and I may watch it, maybe talk about it, but we'll see. I am definitely very much looking forward to this film, and I'm still very curious about all of it because I think it's one of those films where they're going to bring the Tron world into the real world, which, I mean, come on, I'm kind of tired of that premise, but it looks like it sounds like it's being done a little bit differently here, and it's not totally cliche, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Very exciting stuff. Next, we moved on to Lilo and Stitch, and after watching the first film for the first time a few days ago, this shot up as one of my most anticipated of the year. They released a clip for the film, and it was so adorable. I loved it. It was basically the clip where they have to pretend that Stitch is a dog when Lilo and Stitch go to her sister's work, and it's pretty funny, and I really, really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun time with that clip alone. I mean, it's like a minute and a half. I enjoyed it, and I think that it looks really cute and really adorable, and the fact that this and Mission Impossible come out in the same weekend, that gets me so stoked because those are my two most exciting movies of May besides Thunderbolts that I'm very, very hyped for. And Lilo and Stitch looks so cute. I love the first one. This looks like it could possibly be Disney's first real big hit with the live action remakes because I feel like this is a movie that is going to be universally loved by everybody because the remakes have been kind of up and down for recent stuff. So I feel like this is going to be the first one that's straight through. Everybody at least liked it or loved it, and I'm very looking forward to it. I didn't really get too much stuff on Disney's Elio movie releasing in June, but I think this is some small piece of news that Elio is going to be in 3D, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, I don't know if that's the standard for Pixar movies now, but I think that this one's confirmed to be in 3D because they gave them 3D glasses. They said it was for that movie, so I think we can assume that this movie's going to be playing in 3D, which is pretty cool. But other than that, we didn't really get a big idea of new trailers or footage or anything. And from the trailers we've gotten so far, I actually think that this movie could be very cool and unique. So I'm very excited for that. We also got our first looks at Zootopia 2 releasing in November of this year. I'll throw them up on screen now. We didn't get too much. We just got these two pictures, but I really enjoyed the first Zootopia film. I think that it was a lot of fun, and I really think that that was a big win for Disney. It sucks that it took them this long to make a sequel and release it, but it's very exciting that we're going to be getting one this year, and it looks really fun, and I'm really curious to see what the plot is going to be because I'm pretty sure that is still unknown to us right now, but regardless, it's super exciting, and this movie may suffer a little bit because it's coming out the same month as Wicked for Good, and I feel like Wicked for Good is going to be a billion-dollar film, but it would be insane if both of these films made $1 billion or over 500 million. I'm very excited. They also mentioned Avatar Fire and Ash, which I am so stoked for, and everybody got to see some footage of the film, and that is pretty awesome because they said that it looks incredible, and they can't believe that James Cameron is actually continuing to blow their minds with the visuals, the storytelling, and just everything about it and the aspects of it because I mean, I loved the first Avatar movie. I thought it was a lot of fun, but I thought that the second one blew me away, and I absolutely loved that one way more than the second one, way more than the first one. It was so great, and I am very much looking forward to this film, and I'm loving the idea that we're going to be having the Ash people, who we learned from Cinemacon yesterday that they are former Na'vi. So it's gonna be weird to be rooting against Na'vi, but they're like not Na'vi anymore, so they're like the fire people. So that's going to be interesting, and it really kind of amazes me that we're still able to discover new areas of this world, considering how long we have had with this world with these two films. I mean, we explore so much in the two films that we have for Avatar that it feels almost impossible to go for more, but we still are, and I'm very excited and very much looking forward to this. I need that first trailer now because I want to see what it looks like. We got our first image today actually, which I'll throw up on the screen, but I'm very excited, and I think this movie is a guaranteed $1 billion and possibly even 2 billion. We didn't get any Star Wars stuff at this panel this year, unfortunately. We didn't get anything on Mandalorian and Grogu or anything like that. I mean, we're probably just going to end up getting updates for that like around like next year maybe. I mean, I think it's supposed to release next year in like April or May, so we'll probably get some sort of CinemaCon thing for that then. But we got a ton of Marvel stuff that I want to talk about. First off, Kevin Feige, he wasn't there, but he sent in a video message from the set of Avengers Doomsday, so he's there in person saying that the announcements are not done, meaning that the cast announcements was not the final one that we were going to see, and that there are more. We don't know how many more. There could be 2 more, there could be 25 more, there could be 6 more. We have no clue. But he also said that the whole premise of Avengers Doomsday is going to be the Avengers, Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and the original X-Men against Doctor Doom. And I really find it interesting that he wants to specify that it's the original X-Men, leading us to believe that we could be getting a Halle Berry Storm, we could be getting an alternate version of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, even from that timeline. We could be getting a Rogue. We could even have the original X-Men, but instead Gambit is there, so maybe Gambit, played by Channing Tatum, is going to be there. So it's very exciting, and I think it's kind of a no-brainer at this point, especially with that description he gave us, that at some point in this movie, the Avengers, Fantastic Four, and X-Men are probably going to end up fighting because, for all they know, the other teams are just villains on their other universes trying to stop them. So they're probably going to have 1 or 2 fight scenes in there that I am very much looking forward to. And I am very much looking forward to seeing the dynamics that all these teams are going to have with each other, because we have never seen them all together in live action. So this is really a big moment for Marvel. And then we moved on to Thunderbolts, which I gotta say, guys, I am so looking forward to this movie, and I cannot wait. It cannot get here soon enough. We have less than a month, and I am so excited because the movie looks so much fun, and it looks like classic Marvel, and it looks like it could be Marvel's best of the year, which is crazy to say with a year of Fantastic Four. But I mean, they played some clips, they played a fight scene, and everybody is praising it, saying that it's a surprise hit for Marvel, and that the dynamics that all the characters have with each other, the comedy, the action, all of it hits, and that is probably the best thing that we could hear for this movie. And honestly, it's as expected, because that is what the trailers have been promising. And guys, I can't stress this enough. I kid you not. I think that Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four could possibly make it into my top 10 for Marvel, just because of how awesome they look. And I can't wait. I love the lineup for Thunderbolts, and I love all the characters on there. So I cannot wait for that. And that's such a crazy team that we're going to be getting. And it's so awesome. And we also got a description of some of the footage saying that Bucky doesn't even last a term in Congress, so he isn't even going to be in that political area for that long, which I gotta say, that's classic Bucky right there. I mean, I did find it a little bit strange and odd that he would be a part of Congress, so I'm glad to know that it's just probably a gag in the movie, so that's fun, and I cannot wait. And I was questioning a little bit when he was on that motorcycle hunting down the Thunderbolts, because I was like, why would he be doing that if he's doing that? So it's really fun, and I'm really glad that we got a little bit of a confirmation on that. And before they introduced everybody into Comic-Con for Thunderbolts, they had David Harbour and the cast that was able to show up, drive in on Red Guardian's limousine, which is in the film and is also a popcorn bucket. And I thought that was hilarious. I watched the behind-the-scenes video that they released. It was hilarious, and I loved it. And then they even did a bit of having Wyatt Russell pretend that he lost all his money in gambling, so I thought that was funny. And that was fun, and I really enjoyed that they kind of put in the effort for that, and doing that, in doing just those small things, it really shows that this cast has great chemistry and that the team is going to probably end up being one of the MCU's best teams we've gotten, and it's really the only big assembled team we've gotten since Avengers Endgame. But then we move on to Fantastic Four, which gave us some really amazing stuff, according to the people at Cinemacon, which today is also April 4th. They released this new poster. You guys can take a look at it. And they showed them at Cinemacon some new trailers, and it revealed the Silver Surfer, which is crazy, and Julia Garner's Silver Surfer, and she says that their world has been chosen for destruction, and apparently the trailer heavily highlights the destruction of that world, which, I mean, come on. We all knew that their world was going to die, and that's how they're going to have to end up going to the MCU or wherever they go, the Void, whatever. And I think that the fact that they're showing Silver Surfer is great, and I was expecting a trailer today, and I was expecting that first look at Silver Surfer, but I'm honestly fine with no trailer. I would expect the next trailer to be probably at some point this month, probably at the latest next month. So hopefully we get that first look soon. They still haven't, according to the audiences, they still haven't showed Reed Richards moving his powers, using his powers, and they still haven't showed a full look at Galactus. I think they're saving both of those for the film because Kevin Feige wants to make this movie perfect. So it would make sense that he wanted to make sure that every detail is perfection. We also got confirmation that Sue Storm is pregnant in this movie, which was something that we all were heavily speculating about, that she was going to have a kid. Now we know Franklin Richards is going to be in the film in some capacity, and this does make me question now how the events of Doomsday are going to play out, because is Fantastic Four going to take place in one time period, or are they going to be going back into the past with, their earlier days, seeing the future, seeing the present? Because if that's the case, then we may have a pregnant Sue Storm in Doomsday, which I think is a really interesting concept to go for, and I think it's going to happen at some point in the movie, but I think that we're going to see Franklin Richards at some point. And we got a lot of exciting stuff for Disney this year. We got no Avengers stuff. We didn't really get any Star Wars stuff, which is crazy, but we got a lot. And I honestly, from the jump of CinemaCon, I did not care what announcements we got because I already got what I needed for Spider-Man. So very exciting stuff. I cannot wait. I am about to go see the Minecraft movie. I'll have a review for you guys up later today. So with all that being said, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what you thought of this video and what you thought of CinemaCon this year. Were you disappointed? Were you happy? Were you overly joyed with some of the announcements? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.